All right, hello people. Welcome and welcome. I'm going to say some things before we actually get started with this. There's obviously a lot to talk about and a lot to cover, and we will get to it. Um, but
Just
I'm
note
just,
I'm only going to be here for an hour.
yeah, we're going to try and make this quick. So let me just go ahead and get started here. We had a fundraiser for Shawn Hufford back in 2019 because the dude lost his job. The idea of the fundraiser was to pay off the landlord so that he can get the hell out of Dodge without this money shit haunting him later on in life. Turns out that the money shit is still haunting him in life, and that's something we're going to be discussing. But before we do, I want to dispel some things and to talk about some things before we actually get into the nitty gritty. Number one, the idea that Shawn would go to jail over what we're going to talk about today is laughable. The idea for the fundraiser back in 2019 was clear. The idea was to help Shawn get out of a rut because losing a job fucks with your income, and we, being the community, wanted to help. And to the surprise of nobody, it did help him in more ways than one. He didn't blow the funds on stupid shit. He got food with it. He paid bills with it. He didn't just shove it up his nose. Now, there are lies, and we will be dealing with that today. But understand that the money was spent on utilities, food, rent, moving costs. The lie was that it was just spent on rent. As far as scams go, this is the weakest shit I have ever seen. I would argue if it resulted in Shawn getting the fuck out of Dodge, which was the actual goal of the fundraiser, then I
Here,
find it
here.
hard to believe that most would give a shit about the nitty gritty. In short, there was no fraud. We will not be talking about this as if there was a fraud because there wasn't. However, there are still questions. And this is how it's going to work today. Shawn will tell us exactly what happened with his situation and about the money donated. He will not be interrupted during this time. Once he is completely done, the others who are in the call, which is just Slice Barcane and myself, will speak. We will ask questions, and then at the end, we will talk about what we do next. Because responsibility does need to be made. Responsibility does need to be taken, I should say. And even though I am fucking innocent of any fucking bullshit, I will tell you how I am going to make this right with the supporters that supported Shawn through my YouTube channel and through the donations that they gave. But that will be at the end of the stream. Right now, I'm gonna mute, and I ask that Slice Barcane mute as well.
Oh,
Shawn,
man.
I'm gonna give you the floor uninterrupted. I would like for you to start from the very beginning and say all the things that you feel you need to say. And as of right now, the floor is completely yours.
All right. We everybody knows I lost my job. I had to literally people were starting to do fundraisers. I there's many times in my comment or my community page where I've said that I was going to have to leave YouTube. I didn't do. I just couldn't make it in life anymore, financially. Not not that. Um, People stepped up, offered to help. That's not a question. I was always grateful for it. I kind of tried to refuse it once or twice, but I wasn't really given a choice. I was literally just given, oh God, back in May, um, my power got shut off. I told Jared and Reds what happened, and Jared did a backdoor fundraiser. He went and told people that were friends of ours, Shawn needs help with his electric. And there was a fundraiser held for that. I was at that point just wanting to say, fuck it, but I wasn't given a choice on that one. Um, Desperation makes you do some strange things. I went ahead and just said, screw it, I'll pay everything off, and then we'll see where we can go from there. got that taken care of. In August, the funds from that ran out. I still hadn't had a job. And another fundraiser was done. And that helped me stay afloat for that month. About August 20th or so, it's either the 19th, 20th, or 21st. It was really close to there. I was asked what we could do, because I still didn't have a job. I was asked, what could we do to make sure that this has got a permanent fix? We got to get you can't get a job where you're at. Let's find out what to do. So I was like, well, first I had to break a lease, and then I'd have to find a way to move. So I was asked to run the numbers, what it would take. And from my understanding of the way Indiana works, you have to buy out a lease. Now, we re-signed our lease in June, because for the first 2 years we were there, our lease was from July to July. I don't know why this new lease said it was from September to October. I just found out about this yesterday. From one place, you don't read the lease every single year. My fault, yes. I should read every contract I ever sign, but it's a year-to-year lease. But we held the fundraiser on the 23rd. We held a follow-up on the 24th over on the Side Strike channel to try to continue to meet to that goal. We never did. Then, by the time we get done with the Side Strike channels fundraiser, the total for the fundraiser was $7,480. That's how much it came in. The goal was $10,000. I admit in hindsight, I could have looked for other ways to deal with this, and I actually missed one, and that's on me for not reading my damn lease all the way through. I'll grant that. I screwed up. Well, it rolled into September, and I figured, if I can't pay off the lease in full, since this is going to be an ongoing fundraiser until the goal is met, if I pay the month worth of rent for September on the 3rd, then, that'll just knock off 1 month of the lease. So it'd just be a net value of zero compared to what the fundraiser was for. It'd still be counted towards it. The problems came in at September 15th when electricity was due. I still didn't have a job, obviously, because we're working on moving out. So I had a choice at that point, either pay the electric or get evicted for having power turned off, which would have just nullified everything. I made the choice to pay the electric because, again, I didn't want to just wipe the whole slate clean. It would have hurt the moving efforts, but it still would have been plausible because we still had time to get that fundraiser completed for the $10,000. Then Jeff died on the 28th, the 18th. I immediately put a hold on all fundraisers because I found out the family was doing a fundraiser, and I didn't want to have mine take any more relevance away from that. That fundraiser was done on a memorial stream on my channel. And after that was over, I never picked back up on trying to get mine completed because then October's rent was due, and because I had no income, I had to start buying food out of that fundraiser money. So the amount was going to have to go up, and I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have to ask for more on top. Oh, I need $10,000. Oh, now I need another $1,000 to cover what I had to spend to stay alive. And then October went through, and I didn't restart the fundraiser because I just felt shame for not being able to complete it fast enough to be able to do what we needed to do. And October went through, November went through, and I was just pretty well sunk. I was out of options. So I just skipped the lease for December. So no, the landlord was never paid. And then when people started to accuse me of fraud, I lied to everybody. I lied to Rez because he these people believe me because they've known me for so long, and I've never lied to them. This is all on me. I literally lied to my best friends, and I just got stuck in that. I couldn't find a way to. Sorry. When you get buried in a lie like that, just because you didn't want to ask for more, you just can't get out of that. And some people are saying I'm doing this just because I got caught, and that's not entirely inaccurate, because I wanted, before this came out and they found out the hard way, I had to let them know what to expect. So I had to come clean yesterday to Team Skeptic. He was the first person I called because he was the first person that was directly involved to actually, say we know what happened. Now, some of the information they got isn't accurate, at least not from my end, because, like I said, I don't know why the lease dates changed. I signed it in June. Why the hell would you sign a lease 3 months in advance? But this is on me. No, everybody else was defending me because of a lie that I said. And this is the hardest part, is having to say this to the people I lied to. I was on the plow hole yesterday. I knew I was going into a hostile environment. I fully expected to be treated a lot worse than I was. So credit to the plow hole. He didn't ambush me like I thought he was going to. Same with team. I thought I was going to get totally ambushed and thrown under a bus immediately. They saved that until after I left. But this isn't anybody else's fault. I don't care what anybody else says. They were just going off of information that I gave them, or information that they just didn't have. And I lied. That's the cut and dry of it. I thought I was doing the right thing by not asking for more money. But I should have came clean as soon as it started to happen, and I didn't. I thought my reasoning was good, and at least good enough for me, as to where I just didn't want to beg for more fucking money. And because it was already established historically that if I needed something or if I was in trouble, people would jump forward, and I just didn't like that. So I'm sorry to everybody, but I just can't do it anymore. I'm done.
At this point, I'm going to pass it off to Sly. Slice Arcane, if you have questions, things that you want to say, that kind of thing, by all means, go for it.
Oh, damn, make me go first.
Yep.
All right. Here's what I have to say on this. First of all, on the I would like to clarify the no choice thing. And this isn't a question, this is a statement. Shawn said once or twice there that he didn't have much of a choice on the on whether a fundraiser was launched, and I'm gonna kind of back that, because of the fact that in the background, obviously not in the public chats or in the public discussions and stuff, we, in the interest of getting Shawn taken care of, there were several discussions that were had. I was only privy to, I'm guessing, only a small percentage of them, because several of them, they actually, I was actually approached after discussions had already started. But I'm going to say that, the no choice is because of the fact that we kept on telling Shawn, look, man, we got to get this taken care of. Let's get you helped out and shit like that. And Shawn, hard-headed as he is, refused several times on end about doing a fundraiser. Okay. I even recall one time I was standing in the garden, and I got a phone call. I ended up having a hangout phone call with Jared, AT2 Productions. And he was like, man, Shawn's in a bad way and shit like that. We got to get the man helped out and stuff like that. Maybe you could talk to him. And I did. And I was like, look, man, let's get you straightened out. Let's get you, let's get all this shit taken care of. Okay. There was also discussions going on in the background of what do you call it? I was sending links to things that I thought that he would be able to get jobs at in Indiana, because this was before it was a discussion about moving anywhere else. It was before Reds extended his offer. It was before he moved, had the opportunity to go to New Jersey. Before any of that, it was basically, let's get Shawn a fucking job so he can pay his bills. And what do you call it? And unfortunately, the things that I sent to him didn't pan out, though he did try. Okay. And there's also been several other background help things here. Because I know the popular narrative is that everybody's getting fucking rich off this. And I'm sorry, but anybody who's selling that is, I don't know, they're just hating to hate. Okay. Nobody got rich off any of this shit. Okay. If anything, we're all a little bit poorer for it. But I just want to say that because of the fact that that seems to be the thing of, it's all about making the money. No, it's all about keeping a roof over Shawn's fucking head. Okay. It's all about helping out a friend. Okay. And what do you call it? I mean, hell, I'm going to out something that, I didn't plan on outing, but I'll out something else here. When Shawn's computer broke down, okay, I bought him a new computer. Okay, I'm sorry, not a new computer. I bought him a new computer for him, but it was actually a refurbished computer that was actually being sold by Walmart where he was working at the time. Okay, because that's what friends do. Friends fucking help each other out. Okay, so to Shawn, I would like to just tell you that, what do you call it? While it is fucked up that you chose to lie, okay, to not expose yourself as incapable or unable to fulfill the things that you wanted to fulfill. I'm about 20% pissed off at you because you lied to me, okay? But I'm about 80% pissed off at you that you didn't, at least in the background, come to the folks who do care about you for fucking help. Okay. Now, I've been down your road. Okay. I've told the lies that you have told I'm talking about in my teens. I've told the lies that you've told. I've covered other lies with other lies before because I had a depression issue when I was younger. Okay. I had a self-esteem issue when I was younger. And because of that, I told lies to very close people to me. Telling everybody that everything was fine, everything was all right. Yeah, I got this taken care of and all this other stuff, knowing that I didn't have shit taken care of. And I ended up out on the fucking street and losing my best friend. However, my best friend came back to me, understood why I did it. He was pissed off that I did it, but he understood why I did it, and he helped me make a way forward. So that's what I'm saying to you, Shawn, is look, I'm not going to act like there's not some damage done here. Okay, there's a lot of dents in a lot of things right now. But the other side of it is that you need to get over whatever it is that has caused whatever depression in your life, because I know you've been going through depression for a long time. That's where all this I don't need help and I can take care of it by myself and I don't want handouts comes from. Okay. I know that's where it comes from because, like I said, I've told those lies before. I know what that looks like. Lucky enough for me, it happened to me when I was young enough before there was any serious consequences to it, aside from landing on the fucking street. Okay. So I'm going to say personally, look, while there's not going to be any fundraisers in our future, and like I said, there are going to be people who fucking, are going to talk shit about this. I'm going to say that moving forward, Let's get this shit worked out. Now you're in a better place right now, and I realize this has caused some strain in that better place. But I'm hoping, at least for the both of you, that this can be moved forward and not seen as a loss, but rather a learn. Okay, because that's what the L column really is. So we'll figure this part out. Now, I have a couple other little things here to say because obviously, as you know, I took on the should I say challenge of a certain idiot's claims of fraud against you. Now, like I said, he was accidentally right, but not by any of the shit that he presented. I'm going to say that out loud. He was accidentally right. He was about as right as a football being in a stadium and accidentally going through the goalpost. He was only just saying that the football was in the stadium. I want to make sure that I say that everything that was given to me was opinion. None of the so-called proof was conclusive because I researched this. The reason why the decision that I made to research this was when it was claimed that we were all getting rich off of this. Okay. Shit that I had nothing to do with. Okay. I wasn't even a donator on this particular one. And what do you call it? I wasn't part of the promotions. I wasn't part of, I wasn't part of even any of the discussions. Hell, I only heard the most of it fucking secondhand. And so I'm just going to say that when I heard that it was being claimed and my name was used as part of this, because, if you can't attack the facts, you got to attack the people. When my name was being drug into this, I was just like, all right, fine. Show me what you got. And I spent the better part of the last month and a half. Okay. And not one of the things that I put out had anything to do with anything that you said to me, Shawn. Had nothing to do with anything that you said to me. Because honestly, I didn't have anything to justify any things that you said to me. I had nothing to justify it. And in the interest of the way that I do things and the way I fact check, I'm not going to claim a fact unless I can prove that it's a fact. So while you did lie to me in the background and all this, the research that I did into the claims of your fraud still stands. Okay. Nobody got rich off of this. These are the additional claims. Nobody got rich off of this. Nobody pocketed the money. You didn't give the money to your new girlfriend. Okay. What do you call it? But in fact, you actually did use the money to pay rent and utilities. You just didn't use it to pay out the lease. You used the money to pay rent and utilities and food. And God, I guess that's a terrible fucking thing to pay for food. Okay. And I would also like to remind everybody that nobody here would know how much money that Shawn had gathered from that had Shawn not told you. Okay. And nobody here, what do you call it? Nobody would here would know that he didn't pay the lease, not based on anything that's been presented, but because Shawn told you he didn't pay the lease. Okay. Albeit all the way at the end, on the tail end of a long-term, hoping that it'll go away lie. Okay. And quite honestly, none of us would know what he spent the money on in the first place had Shawn not told us. This wasn't because of one guy's secret evidence, okay, which has never been brought to light and was actually disproven that he even possessed the shit when he said, oh, just show us a receipt and it's all good. If you have something against somebody and you consider it a coffin nail, I'm sorry. Saying show me a receipt and it's all good means you don't have anything. Okay? There are two people who claim to have secret evidence about this, which they don't. Okay. There's another person who's claiming that they have a related email about this, which they don't. Okay. There's apparently a crack team of researchers on Discord who have produced nothing. All y'all got was that damn court website. That's all you guys fucking got out of that. And then, what do you call it? You only really know what happened now, again, at the tail end of hoping this would blow over a lie. You only know what happened because Shawn has said it. And all the things that he has admitted to in the past 2 days, getting grilled by folks, all the things that he has admitted to were never part of your claims. Ever. Okay. Now I know, and you know what? Shawn's fears of coming out about this were actually justified. They were assumed, but they were justified by how many people I have on Twitter right now who are turning around calling me a liar, which I'm used to anyway. Don't get me wrong. That's no sweat off my back. Calling me a liar because of all this. See, the people who would actually have the balls to claim victory by dragging somebody's name through the mud for over a year based on opinions, I'm sorry. If you're claiming victory over that, then you're a disgusting human being to me. So, like I said, this is not to discount the fact that Shawn lied, and Shawn is now admitting to that lie. This is not to discount that, and that's not to minimize that. But none of y'all had proof that he lied before he actually admitted it and finally broke into it. None of you. Not one of you. Okay, so I'm going to be, me personally, if anybody wants to know my stance on this, I'm going to walk out of this with the knowing that the so-called critical thinkers that are claiming, who are seeming to revel in me supporting a fraud, again, I dare you to show one time that my information that I put out in the research of the claims that were presented to me were wrong when they weren't. Because I said many times, because I had to be objective about it, nothing in the research, as well as nothing in the claims, either proved Shawn's innocent nor proved Shawn's guilt. So I'm going to be the guy who's going to say, look, I'm going to walk out of here being the man that I am. Okay? The guy who fact checks. Yes, the guy who checks stuff, which y'all like to remind me of. Yeah, I checked all of this. And as new stuff came, I checked that too. And so if you want to call me a liar for checking claims and coming out with the objective results, well, y'all can go fuck yourselves. Now, like I said, there's some amends that are going to have to be made by Shawn. And you know what? If he makes them public or not, that's his choice. Okay, but we're going to have some talks in the background here about ways forward because somebody screwed up and was ashamed to admit it while feeding his family and paying rent as far as he could, at least at that point. I just see it as a man who screwed up. I don't see him as a fraud. Okay, because he used the money, albeit not in the pay out the lease, but in fact to pay rent and buy food and pay utilities, unlike all the other bullshit that is his objectors would say. So, and I personally, I would rather, I would sleep well at night knowing that I donated money to a person, even though I didn't donate on this one, but I would sleep well at night knowing that I donated money to a person who misused, okay, didn't pocket, didn't get rich off of, didn't any of that, okay, who misused funds in a fundraiser. I would donate to that guy far quicker than anybody who sits in their fucking basement, who's a little lying, gossiping punk, collecting money from his users to buy vape juice, lying about folks he doesn't like, and sucking on the government tit and giving disabled veterans a bad name with his actions, all while claiming that he can justify his unfounded claims and never did. And then refusing to justify them, claiming, oh, I'm got to talk with my family. So, Shawn, it was fucked up what you did, but it was even more fucked up that you didn't ask for help, even if it was just in the background. And I really, really hope that this turns into a learn for you. Okay, you're out of the situation you were in before. You're in a better spot. And let's figure out a way to move forward on this. That's all I got.
All right. So my thing is going to be a little bit different. So let me go ahead and just say this. I don't see Shawn's lie as a fraud. That is true. However, I do see it as fucked up. I put my name out there because I wanted to help a friend. And I ran around like a chicken with my fucking head cut off for Shawn. My name's out there, attached to this, and I've done everything I fucking could to take as much responsibility as I can possibly muster, even though I'm fucking innocent in everything, to try and make this shit right. Because I honestly had the thought that Shawn wouldn't have lied to me. But he did lie to me, and as a result, it's now put a stain over any sort of good deed I try to do in the future. It's put a stain on it. So, because of your actions, Shawn, and because I'm never going to hear the fucking end of this, I'm going to not help anyone else in the future. This shit has left such a bad taste in my mouth that I just don't want to have any part in any more fundraisers going forward. I'm done. I'm fucking done. And as far as this fundraiser, like I said, I don't see this as a scam. I don't see this as a fraud. You use the funds to get the fuck out of Dodge and to keep a roof over your head, to keep food in your stomach, which was the ultimate fucking goal of this shit to begin with. But regardless, I'm kind of fucking over it. And I will say that, Shawn, you're the straw that broke the camel's back on this one. I'm fucking done. So the only thing I can do is say that when it comes to the future of fundraising, at least on this channel, there isn't going to be any. You need to find someone else to help you out if you want that. And also, on top of that, when it comes to the people who donated, I would like to state that I am ready to wash my hands of this shit, but I don't want to wash my hands of this shit too soon. So here's the deal. The fundraiser in 2019 was done over PayPal, and I know that your history can go back that far so that you can actually show that you donated to Shawn. So if you did donate to Shawn, then please get in contact with me or Shawn Hufford directly. We'll compare screenshots to make sure that everything's legit, and if so, I am willing to dip into my own bank account as far as my bank account will allow me to go to pay you guys back. If you feel as though you were taken advantage of, if you feel as though you were scammed out of your money, then I am willing to help Shawn in the short term to pay you guys back. I'm going to put a limit on this because I kind of would like to wash my hands of this shit and move the fuck on. So I'm going to say 2 weeks. If you would like a refund, please get back to me within 2 weeks. I will work to make sure that you get your money back. That is the best I can possibly offer here. I don't know what else to do. I don't know. I literally have no. I literally don't know what else to do. But it's like every time I try to help somebody, it has just been a constant shit show. I mean, the last fundraiser I had, we had a fundraiser for my best friend who passed away to pay for final expenses that may come up, to get his service dog treated for a UTI and fucking transported over 1,000 miles to his new forever home. You know, that was a shit show on its own. But that didn't break the camel's back. This fucking shit did. So, Shawn, I'm sorry, but I'm not feeling this. I'm not feeling this. I am going to correct one thing though. When it came to the job offer that was down south in Florida, that was legit. And as far as a place to stay, you would have had a place to stay if you remember. The only thing I could offer you is a couch. I couldn't offer you a room. I couldn't even offer you privacy. The only thing I would be able to offer you is a couch, but you would have to work to get your own place. That was the original plan. But then, of course, shit changed, and so be it. Shit changed. But moving forward, what's going to happen is, because of this shit, and because I'm a little bit irritated that I was lied to when this shit was first brought up, I am going to wash my hands of any and all future fundraising activity because I just can't fucking deal with it anymore. For the fundraisers that were for Shawn and like Booleanator and Marvel Girl and shit like that, I didn't make a fucking dime off of those fundraisers. And yet I still got my shit kicked in for it. So I'm kind of done. I don't need this shit anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm fucking done. People have said that this community's kind of fucked. And it's going to be for a very long fucking time. I guess it's going to have to reinvent itself. It's going to be. But as far as what I'm going to do, like I said, I will go ahead and offer refunds to anyone who wants it. I'm currently in contact with a few of them already. Shawn, I will talk to you about that later. After 2 weeks, if you would like a refund, take that up with Shawn Hufford, because I want to wash my hands of it. I really want to just wash my hands of it, fucking move on from this shit, and that's it. So, at this point, I'm going to ask a question. Shawn, can I just ask you, what, like, why did you, like, fuck? Because, you know, I would have had your back the entire time. If you needed some help, I would have helped you out. But why do it in this way? This shit doesn't make any sense.
Why didn't I ask for more help? Because that would have either just said, okay, Red, let me have some money for a bit.
The fuck was that?
My phone thinking that I said, hey, Google.
Well, there's my fucking phone.
Because whenever I say that I need help, it usually leads to a fundraiser. I didn't want that to happen. And yes, I screwed up. I should have come forward as soon as that electric bill was due. I should have said, guys, we either have to get this done or I have to start doing this. I didn't do that. That's my fault, and I can't apologize enough for everybody because that's when the lie started. I didn't want people to do any more for me beyond what was initially asked for. And yeah, I fucked up. I should have come clean then, and I didn't. But
do you know that because of this shit, that if someone came to me genuinely needing help and then I was able to use my platform, that now I'm just not willing to do that anymore?
I know. I'm sorry.
It's one of those. It's one of those things where it's like, by people just helping you out, now we're gonna have to eat shit for this for the foreseeable future. You know, Slice Arcane, me, Jared 82 Productions. You know, a lot of people are gonna have to eat shit because of this. Now, again, I'm not calling you a fraud or a scammer, but it's like, holy shit, we took the long way around for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
And now, in order for all this to get, you know, put on the right track, we're now going to have to take responsibility to the people who donated. And basically, if people wanted to come in and ask for refunds, we're going to have to honor that, right, Shawn?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you please clarify the lease thing? Did you sign a lease when you didn't have a job?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What was your thinking there?
I was hoping to have a job before having it. The lease was re-signed on June 23rd because it was expiring in July. I either had to sign it or I was done. And at that point, there was no plans to move forward.
Mm-hmm.
So it was either sign and hope for the best or not sign and just be screwed either way. So we waited 20 days and signed the lease because it was supposed to be signed at the beginning of June. I literally waited till almost the deadline for that, and I just didn't think I had a choice.
Do you believe that was a bad idea now?
Yes, I do. I did it at the time, but I thought that was a worse choice of not doing it. Because, you know, it was a gamble, and I picked red. You know, you always bet on black, and I didn't do it.
Well, I really have nothing. I don't have anything else to say. Like I said, I'm kind of like awestruck at this because, you know, people have went to bat for you and stuff like that, and, you know, it's just, I don't know, it's kind of fucking, it's just what. So here's what I will go ahead and just finish on. What I'll go on and finish on is this. Shawn, I do forgive you. I'm all about forgiveness. I do forgive you. I am going to take more responsibility than I should on this and try to help you out in the short term. So for everyone watching and for everyone who has donated, like I said, this fundraising drive was through PayPal, and in PayPal you have the ability to scroll back to your history and take screenshots. If you get in contact with me, if you have a screenshot of your donation and we're able to confirm that on Shawn Hufford's side, then what I will do is I will dip into my own bank account to refund your donation. You don't necessarily get this offer with the Nigerian prince, and we want to keep it that way.
You're not a Nigerian prince?
Oh, really? Go figure. So basically, I'm going to put a hard limit on this for 2 weeks, and the reason is because now everyone has the information they need to come to their own conclusions. And if they want a refund, I am not going to argue with them. I'm going to be like, all right, let's set this up. So, Shawn, you did say that you would be helping me with that when offering refunds to the community, correct?
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. Some people have donated an amount that would be rather burdensome to pay back right away. The Athens 619 comes up. Now,
I'll help.
I spoke with Athens, and I let him know that if he decides that he wants a refund, that we would remain in constant communication with him until the funds are repaid. And that offer is open to everyone who donated. For those of you who donated, the $5 here or the $10 there or whatever, then yeah, we can send that back pretty much right away. But if you donated, like, for example, $1,000, well, that's going to take some time to pay back. But like I said, we will be working with whoever wants their refund back. We will be working with them to make sure that they get their money. That is the only thing that I can fucking offer at this point. I can also say that going forward, I'm kind of done with the whole fundraising thing. It was supposed to be something to help people, but at the end of the day, it just became so much of a mental strain that I'm just not feeling it anymore. And this is the straw that broke the camel's back for me. So I'm kind of done with it. So what I'm also going to do in the future of this, after the 2 weeks is done, is I'm also going to kind of take a much needed vacation, kind of just fucking leave. This community has been going in a direction that I don't really like all that much, and the conversation has shifted in a direction I don't really like all that much.
Yep.
It's not exactly a good time. So I'm also going to be kind of taking a much needed break from this after the 2 weeks is up. So 2 weeks from today, please, if you want a refund, get in contact with me or get in contact with Shawn. Or if you get in contact with Sly Sparkane, I'm assuming you will relay the information back to me, Sly.
Of course.
And what we'll do is we will work with you guys to get you your money back. No questions asked. All we ask is that you provide us with a screenshot of the donation so that we can compare notes, and then after that we will go ahead and send the money back to you. And as for you, Shawn, I would also just say that it's probably in your best interest if you kind of, get the fuck out of Dodge for a bit, just to take care of yourself and get yourself back to where you need to. That would be my recommendation. And to also keep checking your Twitter and your YouTube and also your text messages to make sure that you are acknowledging the people who are requesting their refunds back. Does that sound fair?
Yeah, I mean, when we talked earlier, you made it quite clear that because I have the trust issues now because my screw up, that people could come to you for the refunds and I would be paying you back that money directly.
Yeah. So what we'll do is we will go ahead and conclude this stream. So let me also go ahead and say this one last time. Bunch of people came forward with this, and they're saying, "Well, Reds, don't you offer people apologies?" Absolutely fucking not. The people people are requesting apologies for individuals that have called me a fraud, a scammer. I did no such thing. They pulled that out of their ass completely. And some of them even promoted this fundraiser before I did. And yet, I don't see them offering what I'm offering now. I was taken for a ride like everyone fucking else. And as of right now, I'm doing the best I can with what I have. And I'm kind of fucking done being painted as the bad guy simply because I tried to help a friend out. Which is why I'm done with the whole fundraising thing. And to a certain extent, I'm kind of done with this community. Whatever corner of the internet this is. So, I don't hate Shawn. I don't hate Shawn. I hate that he lied to me. And because of this fucking bad taste that's left behind, I'm kind of done. So, with that, Shawn, I'm going to ask you for something. I'm going to ask you to be sincere when you do it too. Just to the people that have donated, let them know that the fundraisers were done with good intentions, but because of this shit, we are offering them refunds.
The fundraisers were done with a specific goal. The situation changed. I couldn't control that. And I lied to prevent more fundraisers. I was wrong. Had I come forward then, this would have all played out entirely differently. Because of that, I've damaged an entire community. I've betrayed everybody's trust. Friends that I deal with online, live, in person, people in the community that watch and supported, I've betrayed that trust because I lied. It did let me survive until the situation could get better, but the purpose of the fundraiser, the situation just simply changed and it couldn't have been helped. And I thought I was doing what I needed to do to not end things very badly. It doesn't excuse the lie. I don't expect people to forgive me. I'm surprised that anybody has. I tried to come forward this last night, but I knew I was going into a hostile environment. So I tried to maintain my emotions. I wasn't dealing with people I considered friends. And people are saying probably that these are fake tears. These are having to own up to people that I've considered friends in real life that I've lied to. And I'm sorry to everybody. I wish it would have been different. I wish I would have had the balls to come forward when the situation changed and said, this is what's going on. But I didn't. And I couldn't fix it later. And here I am. I have to somehow deal with this. And Reds came up with a solution to at least pay the people back that I've wronged because I wasn't honest. And I can't apologize enough. I've ruined a lot of stuff here. And it's nobody's fault but mine. I'm sorry, everybody.
So, this is not a hangout that I want to make. This is also not a hangout that I want to have continue any longer than it needs to. So, what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go ahead and conclude, but I'm also going to conclude with saying the same thing that I said last time. If you are a donor, or if you donated, I should say, in 2019 to Shawn Hufford, and you would like a refund, please get in contact with either me or Sean or Sly, Jared, 82 Productions. Let us know. And what we'll do is we will go ahead and compare screenshots. And then once we confirm that the screenshot is legit, then what we'll do is we will go ahead and push through the refund on that time. If it's something that we can take care of right then and there. If it's something that we can't take care of right then and there, then what we'll do is we'll either pay you back little at a time until you're completely paid off, or we will set up a date where, well, I don't have the money now, but give me a few weeks and I'll have the money then, kind of thing. We'll just have to play it by ear depending on, you know, what exactly transpires. But I wanted to end on that. If you do not want a refund, then I'm just gonna say thank you. You know, your donation has helped Sean, and I'm sure he still appreciates it to this day. Hell, I do too. I do too. Sly, before we actually head off, anything that you would like to just quickly end on? The key word there is quickly.
Yeah. I grew up in the church, and even though I'm an atheist now, I do remember some of the rules and some of the things that were taught in the church. And all I got to say is one thing that keeps going through my head. I promised myself I wasn't going to look at the chat, and now I'm remembering why I didn't want to look at the chat, because all the people here who are just doing all kinds of just crazy fucking shit. I'm just going to say that there was a word in the Bible that says, "Let he without sin cast the first stone." Okay, if none of you have ever fucking lied to cover up something that you fucked up on, and all this, yeah, you need to look a little deeper in your soul on that. Because I'm sorry, I see life as wins and learns, and what do you call it? Yeah, Sean fucked up, and he's got a lot of dents he's got to fucking polish out on this. But what do you call it? At the same time, not for any nefarious reasons, he was just trying to move forward. So that's all I really got to say on that. And I am going to duck out here, so I'm also going to say my parting words. And that is, normally I say I know a dick named Reds, but I'm going to say no. I have a friend named Red, and I have a friend named Sean. All right? Y'all have a nice night.
All right, so with that, we're heading off. Once again, if you guys would like a refund, please get in contact with me. I don't expect this to be good enough for everybody, so that's where the refunds come in. So if you want a refund, get in contact with me or Sean or Slice Barcane, and we will go ahead and work with you from there. I do want to say thank you to everyone who did donate. Thank you for everyone for helping out Shawn Hufford when he was down on his fucking luck, when he lost his job. And just thank you for being there for this community. So I want to go ahead and start putting this behind us. So again, I'm putting a 2-week cap on it for me. After that, Sean will take over from there. If you would like a refund, contact me. Said that multiple times already, so we're going to end on that. Thank you very much, guys. Take care, and bye-bye.